Yo, yo, yo. Yo, 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 is this thing working? Yo. Alright. I don't know if it's loud enough. This mic is hit or miss. Sometimes it's loud, sometimes it's quiet. It's not even going the yellow range. Hold up, let me turn the game audio down. There we go. Yeah, testing, test. Yeah, that's not gonna be loud enough. It's not even going halfway. No, no, no. Ah, I hate when it does this. Hello, hello. Yeah, if I like yell into the microphone, that shit works. Fuck. I don't know why the controller microphone doesn't work half the time. Hello, hello. Yeah, no. That controller shit doesn't work. Alright, I'm gonna have to go with this quiet microphone. The laptop microphone's even worse than this one. Oh yeah, YouTube's doing that shit again where it fucking doesn't display the thumbnail for me. Oh, whatever. I don't give a shit. I don't feel like fixing that. So, I've only done one boss fight in this game so far, and it was fucking hard. So I don't know if I'm gonna have to do another boss fight in this one, but we'll find out. Look at these crystal things. There's a red one. Oh, a spider web.
Damn webs.
Haha, of course. Black Widow. The combat in this game is so weird. I don't think I'll ever get used to it. Huh.
Let's go. Let's knock them down.
All these fucking bat things. Oh. Got him, didn't even take any damage. I mean, the normal enemies are pretty easy. It's the boss fights that are just crazy difficult.
Stay away from those webs.
Holy shit, yeah. They're waiting to drop down. Well, I kind of want to fight them, so...
Time to go to work.
Oh, they drop down anyways because the flames. Shit.
That's all of them.
Sorry if I dropped the ball. Picky! Captain Picky!
Yeah, so we came from that way. The objective is that way, but there's a spider down this way. Hold up, let's see what's down this way first. What? What?
I barely even got going.
We make a great team.
What? Hey? What are you doing? Hey, what are you doing? Motherfucker, what are you doing? Alright. Let me test the microphone
The
audio.
air feels wrong.
Yeah.
That
It's
doesn't
hard to
sound that
breathe.
bad actually.
Weird. It feels like I've been here before.
I've had that feeling before. And it's best not to think about it. You won't figure it out.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. And right now, we need to focus on what's ahead. Forget about it.
Why does it
I can get behind that.
Why does it say Neon is following us, but she doesn't show up anywhere? Like, what the fuck? Oh wait, I think I might actually know why. Let me go. This is gonna reset all the enemies, but that's fine. I don't really know how the levels actually fully work in this game, because I think I've almost already maxed out one of my classes. But that wouldn't make any sense, because I've barely used the class, right? Unless the level system is very shallow in this game, which is a possibility. See, like, I've almost maxed this fucking skill tree out. What? I don't get it. What happens when I max that out? Hmm. Huh. Yeah. I really only have two more skills in the skill tree to unlock, and then it's maxed out. Alright, whatever. I'll find that out once I max it out. Let's edit the party here. Because Neon's not even showing up in the party. There she. Yeah, now she follows us. Alright, let's have the black guy. So how do you edit their job trees? Huh. I don't know. I don't really understand it. So the edit party. So they're stuck on their jobs, right? I can't even edit their jobs. I don't think. Yeah, I don't even know. What? Oh no, I'm good.
Pizza, mushrooms, and
No, I'm good, man.
dessert.
I'm full. No, I'm full. I just ate.
You don't want a fucking cheesecake? Pizza?
No, I'm good, man. Thanks, though. Oh, sorry, that was my neighbor. I just ate. I don't want food. But, yeah, I don't understand this. I do not fucking understand this. I already have that. The fuck? Become invincible while attacking with weak spot. Yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that too. I just don't understand the item system. Cause I think I should be able to change the shit on my teammates, right? Guess not. Huh. There's so much to learn in this game. Magic damage dealt 1%. Yeah, right. All this shit sucks. This shit sucks, man. Alright. Well, I ain't gonna lie, I don't really know what I'm doing fully, but I'm gonna just go with what looks good to me from a surface level. Oh shit, yeah, I forgot about that. They respawn. I just got fucking trapped. Oh shit. I'm being really sloppy with this one. Hold up. Should retry that one. Nah. I gotta retry that one. Fuck. So how do I get him to go down without getting ambushed? Guess I could just like go in and then back out.
Stand a chance.
Try a combo on this fucker. Alright, get out there. Get out there. I'm not the biggest fan of combos because they make it hard to dodge.
Boring.
Barely even worth the trouble.
Like if you're trying to get a combo and you can't really dodge while you're doing the combo. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, this spot again. Oh, you didn't hit the spider web. You're supposed to hit the fucking spider web, bro. Oh shit, I just got hit. A lot of these fuckers in here.
Heal that before it gets bad.
I've got a sinking feeling.
Come on, we can do this.
Got him. Really nice environment in this cave here. Fuck, I need to hit the treadmill. Like a fucking hamster, I need to hit the treadmill. I'm talking about in real life, not in the game. Oh wow, this is a really nice environment. This game doesn't have the best graphics, but in environments like this, it's really hard to do wrong. Look at all the colors and shit. It's beautiful. Two spiders up there, let's drop them down. Get him. Oh, what the fuck? I forgot those bat things can do that scream attack. They're a lot like the Pokemon Zubat. I really hope the level system gets more in depth than what I've seen so far, because level system seems very shitty in this game. Maybe there's like a prestige system or something, like a, I don't know, where you can like reset the levels and make them stronger when you reset them. I don't know, something like that, because I'm still at the start of the game and I'm almost maxed out. Doesn't make any sense. It needs to be a more in-depth level system than this, right? Sure hope so.
Those cubes?
Should we check it out?
So what should I do now? Yeah, keep it on action difficulty. You can't even move it. Yeah, you can't even move it up to hard. I mean, I could move it down. I don't think I want it to be on hard though. This game is pretty fucking hard. Even on medium settings, it's pretty fucking hard. Not enough job point. Yeah, I know. What the fuck? Can be set to RB R2? RT? RB RT. Decreases breakdown. Wait, let me save. Mission level, average equipment level 8. So the mission level is higher than my equipment level. That's not a good sign.
Are those the pirates?
Be careful. They aren't known for their manners.
Just treat them like monsters. If they bare their fangs, knock them out.
Oh shit. Get him. Let's go. Pirates. So those guys were pirates. You know, I'm a pirate too. I didn't even pay for this game. I pirated this game. I'm also a pirate. In real life. Oh, a Molotov. That motherfucker just threw a Molotov cocktail. I didn't even know they could do that. Okay, the combos are pretty good on normal enemies. Not on bosses, though.
Let's see what's inside.
Damn, smells like strong stuff.
Yeah, strong enough to
Anytime I eat that really spicy food
Amateurs.
from quesadilla, I get heartburn. Fuck, I need to stop eating that really spicy food. It doesn't burn my taste buds, but it fucking burns my stomach. I got really bad heartburn right now.
You know, I almost feel sorry for them. You look almost disappointed, Jack.
Is this the right way? This is a big ass cave. Oh no! Oh shit, it's one of those things.
Just getting
You gotta be really careful around these things. They're pretty fucking tough. They can one-shot you if you're not careful. Chef's knife. Everyone's grudge. Holy shit, this is what I'm talking about. He wasn't even near me, he just threw those fucking things at me.
This is grim.
What the fuck, man? I hate those things. They put these things in every Final Fantasy game and they're overpowered as shit. I don't know why these fucking tiny ass things are always overpowered. Got him. Yeah, those things can one-shot you.
That
seen something this good in a while.
Lucky.
Oh, I'm so tired. I watched that Megan 2.0 movie. I think that came out a couple months ago. I watched that Megan 2.0 movie. It's pretty good. I liked it more than the first one, honestly. Megan 2.0. It's pretty good. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting it to be kind of shit.
That's all of them.
Good job. Now on to the next.
Chica! Your dumbass probably wants to go for a walk, don't you? You want to go for a walk? Yeah, that's what you want. Yep. I thought so. I thought so.
Enemy spotted.
Come on, follow me.
Well, I mean, we can leave the stream going and go for a walk, Chica, but you're not allowed in that McDonald's. I want to stop in at the McDonald's. Can't leave your dumbass outside. Your dumbass is too small. You're gonna get stolen. Dumbass. Dumbass.
I've never seen anything like this.
These pirates sure chose an odd place for their hideout.
I like this place. It's nice. If only caves in real life looked like this, I might actually go cave exploring. I mean, there actually is some caves that have like neon lights kind of, but
Look, cubes.
they don't look this nice. Job tree. Yeah, I got one more skill to unlock and then I don't like all this shit I'm getting thrown at me with the seems they put a lot of focus on the combos, but yeah, I don't know. I could not tell you. Yeah, my fucking PlayStation Plus ran out today. Gotta buy more
I'll
PlayStation
make him
Plus.
regret facing us.
Oh! Oh, is this a boss fight? I don't think it's a full-on boss fight. What's that? Oh! Oh!
Watch out!
Oh yeah, get those combos in. This guy's easy. Hell yeah. Fucked him up.
Did it swallow this key?
Poor thing must have been starving.
Got the pirate's key.
Pirates didn't care for their kitty.
There you are.
Be ready for anything.
That's your weakness.
Good shit. Ooh. The pirate's key. Fuck.
Come out! We have plunder.
treasure hunt.
Can't break those ones for some reason. What? What? Wow. This is a really cool environment. Got a pirate ship. This reminds me of the movies I used to watch when I was a kid, like The Goonies, Pirate Island, Treasure to Pirate Island, whatever it's called, a Disney movie. Yeah, they stopped making pirate movies. I didn't like Pirates of the Caribbean, but Goonies was pretty cool. It wasn't even really about pirates. It was about a pirate's treasure. Goonies was a good movie. I'm surprised they haven't remade that shit. Oh.
It's close. I can learn from this.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to go to sleep soon. Once I get to this stream to an hour, I'm gonna go to sleep. I'm so fucking tired. So I can go up that way or go this way. Oh, you can fall in the water? I didn't even, wait. I didn't know you could do that.
Seriously? We can't get across?
No, must be another way.
Why did he fucking jump backwards? Why did he do that? I'm gonna die from the fucking water.
Okay.
Oh, what are
I don't
those?
think I've ever seen you so scared.
I just hate being surprised. Let's get it.
Yeah, nice.
Found a spot to rest.
I need a break.
Damn. Holding RB with katana? Oh. Did I just unlock a katana? Is that what I just did? Wait. I think that was the katana, yeah. I just unlocked a katana. got a katana now. Okay, so if you hold this, then what do you do? This? Oh yeah, okay. I see. I had to test it, just to see. It works. It does indeed work.
There's one.
This'll be a breeze.
Oh! Yeah, it's pretty good. Some spiders up there. Hell yeah.
Looky here.
The webs are everywhere.
Oh no.
Get off a little too much there.
At least we have time to take a breather. We got company.
Let's make
Yep.
this entertaining.
Oh, I'm out of that shit. My bad. Come on. The katana's kind of slow moving. You think for a katana it'd be fast, but it's pretty slow.
Time for a change. This is the one. Okay. All right.
What are those? Oh, these things.
That thing's an eyesore.
Here.
Let's make this entertaining.
It's a huge headache waiting to happen.
Come on, let's be quick about it.
Oh, fuck you. Come on.
Got a talent for destruction.
We have rum.
Luminescent cave or lake. Luminescent lake? I don't think there's water down there. Looks more like a cave than a lake. That's my opinion though. What do I know?
Ah. And here I thought this world was all doom and gloom.
Take a good look.
Lake.
Because we're headed right back into the thick of it.
I'm in the thick of it. Everybody
cute.
knows.
I'll
They
check
know
it
where
out.
it snows. I skied in and they froze. Here's my katana class. Yeah, let's go. Let's see, why not? I'm so tired. I want to go to sleep. gameplay and video streaming guidelines. Wait, there's guidelines for this shit? $404 not found. What? Doesn't seem like there's no guidelines. Gameplay, video, and streaming guidelines. I don't know them, and I don't really care. I think we're good. Good on that one. I was trying to watch that Superman movie earlier too, but it fucking froze on me.
Well, we thought obviously the Section 107 would be enforced and that they wouldn't illegally avoid the Section 107.
Right, so you made no provision because you didn't realize the union would do this.
They gave us no indication they would do this.
Things in Canada are more bananas than ever right now. Mark Carney was like one of the only leaders that was not invited to meet with President Trump, with Zelensky and all these European leaders to discuss what's going on between Ukraine and with Russia and just kind of ongoing conflict involving NATO. It's very bizarre. In fact, Mark Carney wasn't really seen on the global stage at all today. Instead, he was in Ottawa, or in Toronto or Ottawa, meeting with Doug Ford, who's like a really big Liberal supporter, to talk about, I don't know, Air Canada perhaps, which also is another very interesting talking point in Canada right now because the flight attendants that are currently on strike with Air Canada are being attacked by the government, and now the CEO of Air Canada, I believe, is caught on a hot mic saying, yeah, no, I don't care. We're going to strike a deal with Mark Carney, and it is what it is. They can strike all they want. We're still going to get paid, which is insane. So yeah, there's a lot to take a look at in this video involving Canada, and none of it is really good news. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video, everybody. Before we get into it, I do want to encourage you all to, and on the note of the last video that I posted earlier this morning, I did talk about my experience on Sunday where I went to church for the first time in like 18 or 19 or potentially even 20 years. And man, you guys are really nice in the comments. I didn't get the chance to read every single comment, but I read through a lot of them. And a lot of people were basically saying that that was God speaking through me or the Holy Spirit. And I'm not ready fully for that yet. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like I go to church because I haven't been in a long time, and I certainly want my family to be, you know, to like being super awesome and respectful when like my vulnerable little speech this morning. Anyways, let's get back to the news instead of touchy-feely stuff. We're actually going to start off with Trump, who was caught on a hot mic, apparently, and CNN is here to have a bit of a meltdown over it.
Jeff Zeleny, I want you and our viewers to listen to something that the President Trump, didn't intend to be public, but his mic was hot. This was as he and the other European leaders were sitting down to the meeting, and he was talking about Vladimir Putin and what Trump believes Putin will do for him personally.
I think he wants to make a deal for me. You understand that, as crazy as it sounds?
Jeff?
A couple of key words in there are for me. I think he wants to make a deal for me. I mean, it's not altogether surprising that President Trump thinks this. You know, whenever there's a hot mic moment, we're always slightly more interested than when it's something that he would have just said. It's not actually all that dissimilar from things he said throughout the campaign. But what's different about it now is the whole comment there, wants to make a deal for me, that was at the root of President Trump's entire argument that I can end this on day one. That his relationship with President Putin was so strong from that first term. They were stablemates, as he once said on 60 Minutes, of which there was no evidence of. But this is just kind of the latest version of it. There's been zero evidence that President Putin is using his relationship with Donald Trump to do anything for Trump, to end it for Trump. So I think it was just a window into President Trump's mindset there, and perhaps not that surprising, but
yeah, I mean,
revealing.
It is a
Trump and Putin have a very interesting relationship. They've gotten along quite well over the years, and if and when there is peace with Ukraine and Russia, it's pretty much all going to be because of Trump. That's not my opinion. That's not even an expert's opinion. That's quite literally Putin's words. He quite literally said when he met with Trump in Alaska, the first time since he was touched ground on U.S. soil since 2019, this war never would have happened if Trump was in office. I mean, he said it a little bit differently, but pretty much that's word for word what he said, which is very interesting. But enough about Putin. Let's now take a look at Trump and Zelensky in the Oval Office. And yes, he did wear a suit this time.
I got a question for you. This sounds insane for me even to ask this, but do you think the American media really doesn't even want a peace deal? Because they've seen they've been so critical of you every step of the way as you lead the charge for peace.
It's an amazing phenomenon. I said that if in the settlement you got Moscow, St. Petersburg, and thousands of miles around them, they would say I made a bad deal. The level of hatred and animosity is incredible. Not with all. I mean, we have great people up here. We also have terrible people up there that I think are told what to say. But, you know, in solving all of these wars, they don't even write about it. You know, I saw major wars. I saw wars that have been going on for 31, 35, and 37, and a couple of quicker ones. One that was going to go into a full-blown deal very quickly. You know what the one I'm talking about. It was a big one. But they don't even write about that. No matter what I do, no matter what, and you know, this is not anything to do with you. It's probably to your advantage in a certain way. But no matter what I do, no matter what deal I make, from my standpoint, you'll come out good. Maybe President Putin will come out good. But they'll say Trump was absolutely horrible. It's just that, and I've lived with that for a long time. I've lived with it since just before the first election. I used to get great publicity. Now,
ever since he announced that he was going to run in politics, the media and everybody flipped on him. It used to be, wow, Trump is a successful business guy. Look at all the great deals. He's such a great guy. Oh, he's in Home Alone, did a cameo, all of these things. Oprah, Ellen, everybody, every talk show host praised Trump. The moment he was a threat to the machine and the system, everyone just started attacking him. It's so bizarre.
I get the worst publicity anyone's ever gotten in office, but I won in a landslide, so that people understand they're the only ones that count ultimately. But I've also had great reporters. I've had journalists that are very good. But it's very sad when you do the right thing. As an example, they said, because of the fact that Vladimir Putin came to American soil, this was a tremendous defeat for Donald Trump. No, it was really wonderful that he did it. It was a hard thing for him to do, to be honest with you.
I feel bad because Trump is doing so much for the world, so much for America, and he's just constantly attacked and slandered by the media and by other world leaders. And frankly, we don't really appreciate greatness until it's gone. And I think everyone's gonna be pretty sad in like 10, 15, 20 years from now and be like, oh man, America had it so good when Trump was in. But I'd love to know what you guys think about that. Meanwhile, Mark Carney wasn't there. He didn't meet with all of his friends from the European Union, even Zelensky. You have Mark Carney, who's literally committed to helping rebuild Ukraine, yet he wasn't there to help or talk to Zelensky. He wasn't there to broker a deal with Trump or put differences aside and try to find a way how to navigate these things. No, instead, he was meeting with a fat pig with rabies in Ottawa or in Ontario, and this was the outcome.
No, not Doug Ford. Fuck that guy.
Unpredictable. I don't even know what
Fuck that
if he
guy.
knows what he's doing tomorrow morning. So let's start focusing on creating that environment
But is there an
to attract
acceptance?
companies.
Is there an acceptance, I guess, from leaders that we'll just have the tariffs?
Again, the Prime Minister will speak on that, but the President is unpredictable. He'll come out with some cockamamie thing tomorrow that we don't even know about.
So
right?
do you think that Mark Carney is being too elbows down in response to that unpredictability?
Not at all. He's doing an incredible job. He's working collaboratively with 12 other premiers and myself, and working as Team Canada. And he's doing a very, very good job, in my opinion. Put in his position, dealing with Donald Trump. Let's stop worrying about Donald Trump. We'll start focusing on Ontario and Canada and all the other provinces and territories.
Stop worrying about Donald Trump. You know, all this man has to say about Trump is such negative and bad things. And that's why Carney included in this, they never get invited to the White House for actual real world things that are happening. It's really quite pathetic. You have Mark Nixon posting this on X saying, watch this clip. Trump thanks every leader at the table by name. Every single one. And the only leader who didn't get a seat or even a phone call is Mark Carney. Even though Canada has sent nearly $20 billion to Ukraine, we got zero invite and we have zero influence. Canada is completely irrelevant on the global stage.
President Putin today. We're going to call President Putin right after this meeting. I'm sure we're going to have a solid meeting, good meeting, maybe a great meeting, and we're going to try and work out a trilat after that and see if we can get it finished. Put this to sleep, because this is not since the Second World War has there been anything like this. So I'm honored to welcome NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte, who's a great gentleman, great political leader in Europe generally, but now he's the NATO Secretary General, and you're doing a fantastic job. Thank you very much, Mark. Prime Minister Starmer of the United Kingdom, our friend and my friend, and doing really well. And people like him a lot. We all like him. Everyone knows President Macron of France, who's been with me from the beginning, one of the first people I met as a foreign dignitary, and I liked him from day one. And I like him even more now. That's pretty good. That's unusual. That's a pretty unusual thing. Prime Minister Meloni of Italy, who's a really a great leader and an inspiration over there. She's served now, even though she's a very young person, she's served there for a long period of time relative to others. They don't last very long. You've lasted a long time. You're going to be there a long time. Chancellor Merz of Germany, who is a very strong person and a very strong leader and very highly respected in Germany. And he's my friend, and it's an honor to have him as my friend. Thank you very much. Very good. You look great with your tan. When did you get that tan? I want to get a tan like that. President Stubb of...
So you get the point. Every single person of relevance was given a mention, and Mark Carney is nowhere to be found. Instead, you have Carney's liberals that are basically saying this from the comforts of their home or their office. Anita Anand, Carney's Liberal MP, says that a war in Ukraine is influencing Canada's Arctic security policy. Foreign Affairs Minister Anita Anand said Monday that the federal government is leaving no stone unturned to defend Canada's north, as changes in the global order in recent years are having direct implications for Canada's Arctic sovereignty. But one expert in the international relations says that Canada is being left out of crucial talks, with Prime Minister Mark Carney not among the leaders who gathered Monday at the White House for talks on the future of Ukraine. Anand was in Helsinki to meet with her counterparts from Nordic countries to discuss Arctic security, which she said has become a more critical issue since Russia's full-scale of 2022. Before that, Anand said NATO countries typically focus on shoring up the security along the eastern flank in Europe. NATO's gaze also has to shift westward and north because of the changing geopolitical landscape, especially following February 24th, 2022, which is when the war began this new war between Russia and Ukraine. We are seeing increased activity, for example, in the Northwest Passage. We are seeing Russian infrastructure moved further and further north on the other side of the Arctic Circle. And instead of trying to broker a deal between Russia and Ukraine and the rest of the world, literally every media organization that's government funded or government subsidized, and every liberal left-leaning government or party in the West they would rather see the total destruction of Russia and civilians and its people in order to just be able to end this war, or maybe even they would rather see it prolonged than to find a deal, a peace deal, so we can all just move on with our lives. You talk about warmongers, dude, the Democrats and the liberals are exactly that. It's weird ways for them to start funneling and moving money around more. $20 billion Canada has sent to Ukraine in form of cash, Russian frozen assets. You have in form of tanks, bullets, and beans, and ammo, all that stuff, and troops even, right? And what do we get in return? We don't even get a seat in the Oval Office or with Trump when all of the heavy players are sitting there to discuss what the heck is going on. $20 billion later, we don't even get a thank you card. That is insane. But that's my opinion. I would absolutely love to know yours. And then we got to take a look at this new update here where Ontario municipalities are getting $1.6 billion more for housing as province lags on home building. The Ontario Premier Ford says the province is putting almost $2 billion, $1.5 billion, $1.6 billion more towards funds for
Yeah, nothing more to say than Canada's economy is completely fucked. Canada as a country is fucked. What a shithole.
Sovereignty and free speech are the two pillars on which Western civilization was born, and that's exactly why Mark Carney and the Liberal Party are going after them. They view Canada as a landmass to pillage for every nickel and dime they possibly can. So they're going after our fundamental rights enshrined in the Charter of Rights and Freedoms to shut us up permanently as they absolutely pillage this land and destroy this once great country. In terms of sovereignty, we have allowed 8 million invaders into this country in the past decade, welcomed them in. Everybody who's a Canadian who's lived their entire life knows exactly what I'm talking about. Yep. This country, the culture has gone down the absolute tubes. Walking around every day, it feels like you're in the Middle East, you're in India. It's truly disgusting. We were once a proud country with a proud culture, ancestors who fought in World War I, World War II, died for the rights we hold dear. They're trying to absolutely destroy this and turn it into a multicultural slop that stands for nothing. It's truly disgusting. It does not make you a racist. It does not make you a xenophobe to stand up against these ridiculous immigration rates. And the craziest thing is that 75% of Canadians say, enough, we cannot withstand more immigration. We cannot withstand another million people. You look at our economy, it's in the absolute shitter because of this. Look at our healthcare system in the absolute shitter. I personally know 2 people who have passed away because of our ridiculous healthcare system. But you think Mark Carney and the elites at the top give a crap? They just announced another 1 million people are being allowed in the country in 2025, and they're telling you to shut up about it. Not a damn thing you do. We live in a democracy. Give me a goddamn break. So, give me another issue where 75% of Canadians are in agreement, yet the government is going against the will of the people. It's so disgusting, and it's because Carney used to work at Brookfield for a decade. They own $37 billion worth of assets. All that Mark Carney and the Liberal Party give a shit about is his assets continue to go up in value. You think he gives a goddamn about the average standard of living for the average middle class or lower class Canadian? It's disgusting allowing another 1 million invaders into this country. We don't want any more people in this country. This country is full. Our ancestors who died in World War I, World War II are rolling in their grave at what is happening. We need to stand up and say no. If anything, Canada needs deportations. The idea that we are goddamn allowing another 1 million in, and Mark Carney says he won't even be announcing numbers going forward, it is truly disgusting and a slap in the face to every patriotic Canadian. Now, at the same time, he's passing 3 bills, Bill C2, Bill C4, Bill C63, which are attacking our right to free speech and our right to privacy. Bill C2 allows the government, if they deem it in the national security interest, they can access any Canadian's communications through an electronic device, as well as open anybody's mail. Not since the Patriot Act have we seen an affront to Canadians' freedom. In the U.S., have we seen an affront to Canadians' freedoms like that. Bill C4 retroactively absolves the Liberal Party of any wrongdoing with any Canadian's data going back to the year 2000. All data the Liberal Party has collected going back to the year 2000, they're absolved of any wrongdoing, and nobody would do something like this unless they had done something wrong. No mainstream media, CBC, ZTV will do any reporting about this, but it's absolutely disgusting. And then Bill C63, the absolute worst of all, will create something called the Digital Safety Commission. 10 unelected bureaucrats and an ombudsman. Of course, that's all Canada needs, more goddamn bureaucrats. 10 unelected bureaucrats and an ombudsman. Any citizen can report another citizen because they believe they are likely to say something hateful online in the future. If these unelected bureaucrats and ombudsmen deem you likely to say something hateful in the future, you can be put under house arrest and given an ankle bracelet. This is Orwell's 1984 on goddamn steroids. And you can also be thrown in life or prison for so-called incitement to genocide. Are you kidding me? We are slaves. We are not human beings if we don't have the right to express ourselves, if we feel they need to look over our shoulders. There's a reason that freedom of expression is so consistently expressed throughout our Charter of Rights and Freedoms. Sovereignty, freedom of expression. These are the two pillars that built Western civilization, and it's exactly what these woke goddamn morons are going after, but there's no way they're going to win. Canadians are smarter than them. We are not letting them take away our freedom of expression. We are not letting them take away our sovereignty. We are not being invaded anymore. Canadians are goddamn sick of it. I'm setting up 2 rallies, Saturday, September 13th, Saturday, September 27th. If you're in the Ottawa area, let me know. We're going to go to Parliament Hill and let them actually see some goddamn Canadian patriots on the street. I've seen enough foreign friggin' groups on the street. It's about time that Canadian patriots hit the street. If you're interested in supporting, hit the link in my bio, grab some gear, donate. All donations will go towards getting posters up all throughout Ottawa, promoting on social media, because we need 10,000 people in the streets. There's going to be a massive rally in the UK on Saturday, September 13th. Let's match it in Canada. Let's do our ancestors proud. We need to get out on the streets and say, you are not taking away our sovereignty. You are not taking away our freedom of speech, you creep, Mark Carney.
I mean, I agree. Mark Carney is
Upon
fucking
peace, God
gonna
willing,
destroy
peace.
Canada.
Are you open to holding an election in your country?
Yes, of course. We are open for election, yes. We have to do safety circumstances, and a little bit we need to work in the parliament, because during the war you can't have elections.
The difference between a free man and a slave is a free man, if you slap him in the face, he'll fight you to the death. A slave will just sit there and take it. What the Canadian government does to the Canadian people is continually slap them in the face and continue to just sit there and take it and take it and take it. 8 million invaders in 10 years, another million in the next year. They're not reporting the statistics anymore. Bills being passed that allow the Canadian government to access all of your online communications, Look through your mail without any notification. More overbearing than the online than the Patriot Act post past 9/11. The government telling the citizenry, sit down and shut up with Bill C63. If you say something that the government doesn't approve of, they can put you under house arrest, give you an ankle bracelet.
They've been
throw you
doing
in
that.
prison
They've
for
done
life
that
for
to me.
So-called incitement to genocide, continuing higher and higher taxes, lining Mark Carney, WF Davos, elite institutions' pockets, will we get poor and poor and poor. Our Prime Minister owning $37 billion worth of assets through Brookfield, and the Canadian people just being told, sit down and shut up, racist, if you say anything about it. The Canadian people are fed up and have had enough. Bills C4, C2, Bill C63, Bill C11, the government led by Mark Carney and his liberal schmucks are passing the most authoritarian laws this country has ever seen. And that's saying something after the past disastrous 10 years of Justin Trudeau, where he stomped all over our charter rights and freedoms. And you know what they say to Canadians who want to stand up and fight against it? They say, sit the hell down. They won't approve permits for rallies unless they're some sort of an extremist pro-Palestine. If you're pro-Palestinian, you can go at rally. You can lay body bags on the goddamn street. You can have fake blood on your hands. You can yell the most vile things you've ever heard throughout the entirety of the rally. But if you're a proud Canadian patriot, the answer is sit down and shut the hell up. Our Canadian government has become so insane, so insanely overreaching in terms of their authoritarianism. Mark Carney is not a Democrat. Nobody in the media will tell you this, but look into bills C2, C4, C11, C63. Each one of them are extremely overstepping of our God-given rights as Canadians enshrined into the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. If Canadians don't stand up right now and say enough is enough, this country as we know it is going to be gone forever. I'm setting up rallies Saturday, September 13th, Saturday, September 27th on Parliament Hill. Let me know if you're interested in attending. If you're unable to attend but would like to support, hit the link in my bio. I have some great gear up for sale. Donate. All donations will go towards. At this point, we should just rename ourselves China, because the number of conflicts of interest that our Prime Minister Mark Carney has with China are truly shocking. China just announced that they're going to be implementing massive tariffs on canola producers in Canada. More damage to a West Coast that has already been crushed by these 35% tariffs that the supposed experienced international negotiator Mark Carney was not able to make any work on. The U.S. has announced major deals with the EU, getting the tariffs down to 15%, many countries reducing to zero, but Canada remains at 35%, with this genius Carney doing our international negotiating. Now China announces massive tariffs on canola oil, and you know what the Canadian government does in response? We have announced that we are going to be building 3 ships, not in Canada, not domestically, where the citizens are struggling like never before, but we're going to build them in China. We're sending $1 billion over to China for them to build 3 ferries for Vancouver. It's truly shocking. It's shocking, and it had me thinking, well, why is this happening? Does Carney have any relationship with China? Guess what China invested in a couple of years ago? $250 million. Who'd have thunk it? Brookfield Asset Management. It's becoming more and more apparent to Canadians who dig deeper into this every day. Our current Prime Minister, Mark Carney, has so many conflicts of interest. He is more so the Prime Minister of Brookfield Asset Management than he is the Prime Minister of Canada. And this relationship with China just goes to show it. Again, no reporting from the CBC, CTV, any of the state news propaganda outlets on us sending $1 billion over to China. Meanwhile, them having spent $250 million with Mark Carney's former employer, Brookfield Asset Management. But it's so apparent that both in terms of the domestic policy realm as well as foreign policy realm, we are being controlled by a man who looks after his pocketbook first. Just say, why are we allowing another million immigrants in the country in 2025 when 75% of Canadians are against it? Say we can't afford anymore. Our housing prices, our society can't withstand it anymore. Our healthcare system is in absolute shambles because we've let 8 million people in the country in the past decade. Now we say we're going to allow another million in, and Carney's not even tracking it public anymore. You want to know why? Brookfield Asset Management owns over $37 billion worth of assets in Canada. You need to keep pumping those numbers up. Since Trudeau allowed the floodgates to be open and Carney was a senior advisor to Trudeau, since Trudeau opened the floodgates, look at the prices on our real estate in Canada, both in terms of our rental market as well as our housing market. They have exploded. So you look at why they're making that determination, despite the fact that 75% is overwhelming consensus, as you will get in Canadian politics, say no more immigrants. It's because Brookfield Asset Management stands to profit like you wouldn't believe. Carney's been so slow getting any national projects off the ground, despite the big talk he made during election season. The first major project that he is actually breaking ground on, prefab housing. What a coincidence. Brookfield Asset Management just purchased a company called Modular. What do? Prefab housing. You can connect so many of Carney's decisions as Prime Minister to the 587 relationships with businesses that he personally owns stock in. already it's reported between 9 and 11 conflicts of interest on meetings that Carney has attended. He lied to us during the run-up to the election, saying he only owned real estate and personal cash. That's proven to be far from the case. And digging into this more and more, please, CBC, CTV, so-called Canadian news outlets that are more like propaganda outlets in Canada, do your goddamn job. Do some digging. Why exactly is it that the Canadian government is spending $1 billion in China? Why are we sending hundreds of billions of dollars overseas to Ukraine, to Gaza, at the same time that Canadians are struggling like never before due to these green policies that see Mark Carney and Brookfield Asset Management get rich as hell? Well, the standard of living in Canada continues to decline and decline. They treat us like a bunch of plebs and think we're not going to catch on to it. CBC should not be receiving another nickel of taxpayer money. They are a state propaganda outlet who receives $1.5 billion a year. It's embarrassing. Go look at their website. But any of you who are confused as to why we're sending $1 billion over to China, well, the answer is they spent $250 million with Brookfield Asset Management. And sorry, Canada, you don't have a prime minister. You have a man who's representing an elite global institution, spent his whole career at WF Davos. These are the interests that Mark Carney is looking out for. He's not looking out for the everyday Canadian. That much I can assure you. The man has not even set up, shockingly, I kid you not, he's been prime minister for months. He has not even set up a home office. If you try to contact Mark Carney, he does not have an office to write to. He's got to be the first prime minister in Canadian history to do that. He spits it all. He spits on us. He could give two damns about you. He thinks you're a little pleb who will sit down and take it, do what you're told. It's embarrassing. I've submitted applications to hold rallies on Saturday, September 13th and Saturday, September 27th, because Canadians we need to hit the streets. Clearly, polling does not move these people. They could give two damns what public sentiment is in this country. They think they're looking down their nose at every single Canadian. So we need to hit the I'm always recognizant to say that we've reached peak insanity in Canada, because with Mark Carney and the Liberals, you never know what the heck is coming next. But judges in Canada are now levying lighter sentences against convicted criminals because they are worried that a conviction may wind up hurting the likelihood they stay in this country. You heard that right. Criminals who have been charged with serious crimes are getting lighter sentences in Canada now because judges state that they are worried that a conviction would see the likelihood that they're able to stay in the country go down. Are you effing insane? I kid you not. There's a recent story, a man, it's a disgusting story, essentially abused a very young woman. He was caught. They went to sentencing, and the judge said, well, due to the fact that a conviction would mean that in all likelihood you'd be deported, I'm going to give you a more lenient sentence. Earth to Liberals. I know this is incredibly hard for you to get through your woke skull, where you see everything through this worldview of oppressed oppressor. But we don't want criminals here. They do not make the country any better. I don't know if you've had a chance to look at any of the most recent polling, but 75% of Canadians say enough to immigration. Look at what's going on with our housing market. It's insanity. With our job market, with our healthcare. These are not just, we see it on a day-to-day basis, everyday Canadians, and we know it, but the data backs us up. We cannot withstand more people. Yet Mark Carney said another 1 million people in the year 2025, and they've even stopped sharing the data. It's disgusting. But Earth to Liberals. We want criminals out of this country. It recently came out. There are 600 criminals, known criminals in Canada, who are roaming our streets, who the government has just lost track of. They're immigrants to this country with serious convictions, and the government has simply lost track of them. 600 people. If you live in major cities, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You can tell the number of people who are not, we do not want in this country here, and the government just announcing 600 they've completely lost track of. The government also recently announced that background checks on all immigrants coming into the country are not based on their criminal records from the country that they're coming from. Rather, they're based on their criminal record in Canada. Hey, Earth to Liberals. I know this is not the most intelligent bunch, but if you're coming to Canada, if you're arriving in Canada, you are not going to have a pre-existing criminal record here. You have to look at the criminal record in the place that they're coming from. I kid you not, this is a new law in Canada. Immigrants arriving here, they do a criminal record check in Canada. It's almost as though the Liberals want criminals here. I don't understand the psychology. I don't understand the sick worldview that these people have, but it's so disrespectful to the Canadians that have ancestors died World War I, World War II. It's really gross what's going on. But we need to wake the hell up and realize we need to pass new laws that say if you are convicted of a crime in Canada as an immigrant, you're booted out immediately. It doesn't have to be a serious crime. These people are not contributing to our society. GDP per capita, 50 country measured. Canada came dead last, but despite the fact we're such a resource-rich country. Immigration is killing this country, yet the Liberals say, come on in, another million people, and you know exactly why it is. It's because
airports all over Canada are in chaos right now. Flights are being grounded. People are missing. Weddings, business trips, vacations, funerals. People are stuck at airports. It's bad. Chaos is just ensuing everywhere. It's not great. What was supposed to be a smooth summer travel season has turned into a nightmare. Mark Carney promised Canadians a government that could handle big problems and challenges and keep the country running, but instead his plan to manage the airline dispute has completely collapsed. Now the country is struggling in real time as airports fill up, schedules crumble, and Ottawa looks powerless to do anything. But before we get into that, hey guys, I'm Driven, your host, coming to you today from the Zone Media Network, where we do cover Canadian news, American news here also, but we do have an American Zone channel. Link is in the description. Also, please sure to like and subscribe to this channel, as it does help us out a lot. Alright, let's get into it.
Already leaving a trail of chaos at airports across the country, the strike by Air Canada flight attendants injected now with more uncertainty and disruption.
My partner has surgery on Tuesday, and it's a surgery he's been waiting for a while, so it's going to be really hard to rebook it if we have to.
There was hope that some planes would take off Sunday evening after flight attendants were ordered back to work. But those hopes quickly dashed when they defied that order.
It makes you not want to go with Air Canada, the next time you fly.
Sabrina Horan and her husband are missing a part of their European honeymoon.
We haven't slept, we've been calling, we're tired, and we lost out on some of our hotels as well because we're getting there late, so it's been very frustrating.
And these track and field officials can't get to the Canada Games in St. John's.
Without us, there won't be any running going on.
This passenger frustrated to the point of tears.
How many tears have you been shedding? You seem like you've been crying for a while.
Yesterday, 2 times. Today, 2 times. So it's okay. I have to let it go.
Some say they're out thousands of dollars.
So you're looking at $7 grand for a one-way ticket for 2 people, plus the $5 grand that we paid on the original tickets.
Canadians are watching this chaos unfold and asking a very painful question. If Carney can't even keep the nation's planes in the air, what else is about to fall apart? Now, the strike didn't come out of nowhere. It's not like, oh my gosh, this just happened. For months, Air Canada flight attendants have been pushing for fair pay and better treatment. They say wages haven't kept up with inflation, and for years they've been doing hours of work without proper compensation. Helping passengers board, handling baggage, performing safety checks, yet not being paid for it. The union representing more than 10,500 flight attendants says Air Canada's latest offer simply isn't enough. While the company promises a 38% pay increase over 4 years, workers argue that after a previous pay cut, this still leaves them behind.
We begin with breaking news on the Air Canada dispute. The union representing 10,500 flight attendants is remaining defiant in the face of an order to return to work today. CUPE says it plans to challenge a directive from the Canada Industrial Relations Board, and the workers won't be resuming their duties at 2 p.m. Eastern, meaning they will remain on strike. This is video of some of those flight attendants picketing at Toronto's Pearson International Airport this morning. Similar protests are either taking place now or planned in Montreal, Calgary, and Vancouver. The flight attendants walked off the job early yesterday after long-running contract talks broke down. Jobs Minister Patty Hajdu later referred the dispute to binding arbitration, pointing to the potentially huge economic consequences. CBC's Linda Ward is at Canada's busiest airport. Of course, that's Toronto Pearson International. That's where the union demonstrating, as we can see behind you, Linda. You've been speaking to the members all morning. They've all been expressing defiance to that return to work order. Specifically, what are they saying about that?
Well, Marianne, an especially pumped up crowd right now with this rally still going on behind me. And the chants of this crowd, hell no, we won't go. And that is referring to that back to work order. They had been told that they were needed back on the job at 2 o'clock this afternoon. That's Eastern time. They're saying they are not going to do that.
Ground pay compensation for work being done before a plane even takes off is another major sticking point. For these employees, it's about more than money. It's about respect, fairness, and finally being heard in a system where the government, under Mark Carney, has largely stayed out of meaningful negotiations until it was too late. The airline, which serves 64 countries with a fleet of 259 aircraft, said the shutdown poses a major risk to both the company and its employees. When the strike hit, the government tried to step in, but it only made things worse. Jobs Minister Patty Hajdu invoked Section 107 of the Canada Labour Code, ordering flight attendants back to work. In theory, it was supposed to bring calm in Canada's skies moving again. Great move. It sparked an open revolt. Workers ignored the order, refusing to return until their demands were met. Airports remained in chaos and Ottawa looked powerless to do anything. Carney had promised Canadians stability and strong leadership, but instead his plan collapsed in real time. And now critics say he waited too long. Way too long to engage meaningful conversation, dialogue. And by the time the government acted, the strike had already gone out of hand. For ordinary Canadians, it's a frustrating problem. A government telling workers what to do while failing to enforce its own orders. What was meant to be a solution has become proof of weak leadership, of incompetence at the highest level. Air Canada is pointing fingers at the union, calling the strike illegal and warning that the disruption is putting passengers and the economy at risk. The airline insists it made a substantial offer, a 38% pay increase over 4 years, along with additional benefits and protections. From management's perspective, they say they've gone above and beyond to reach a fair deal. But the union sees it differently. Flight attendants argue that after a previous pay cut, the proposed raise doesn't even make up for lost ground.
All right, let's start with Air Canada. The union has refused to return to work as per the government's order. What do you make of this decision?
I think it's one of the very first big missteps by the Carney government. They blew this one. You have labor relations. That means that there are two sides, as in any relationship. But Minister Hajdu and the Carney government have weighed in so heavily on the side of Air Canada in this one that it's galling. The union raises the issue of the appearance of conflict of interest with the person who's now in charge of the Canada Industrial Relations Board, Maryse Tremblay, that you just referenced in that lead-up. Well, how is it even possible that we're debating that? She spent her career inside Air Canada representing them as a lawyer or as outside counsel. And now she's in charge of the Labour Relations Board. By the way, I'm not taking anything away from her in terms of her skills as a lawyer. But when you've got such an obvious appearance of conflict of interest, you deal with it immediately. Here you're trying to use that institution to force back to the table, go to binding arbitration, and they seem to have forgotten in the Liberal Party, they once knew.
For many, it's effectively still a pay cut. On top of that, workers have been performing important duties like boarding, deplaning, and safety checks without proper compensation for years. They're demanding ground pay for every hour worked, plus cost of living adjustments that actually keep pace with inflation. The union is asking for more than money. It's asking for respect, fairness and a system that, well, has ignored their concerns for far too long, and now here we are. And with Carney's government stepping in late and failing to enforce its orders, the standoff has only taken a turn for the worse. The airline and the union are locked in a battle that shows no signs of letting up anytime soon. The strike is causing problems all over Canada. Airports from Toronto to Vancouver are crowded with passengers who can't get home. Lines are long, luggage is piling up, and people are trying everything they can just to make a flight. Families are missing weddings, graduations, funerals. They're missing life. Business trips. It's all being delayed, and small businesses that depend on quick travel are losing money every day. Videos are blasting on social media, and it shows the full scale of the mess. Jammed terminals, frustrated travelers, and picket lines blocking airport entrances. Air Canada is trying to rebook people on other flights, but during the busy summer season, most planes are already full. Even smaller regional flights are still running, can only take a small number of people. They can't take a lot. Cargo is also affected, leaving shipments stuck and slowing down deliveries. For everyday Canadians, this strike is a real disruption. It's a problem that touches homes, businesses, and the economy. And with Carney's government unable to step in and fix things, people are left to deal with the chaos themselves, seeing firsthand that the leadership they were counting on is failing badly. Tourism is also slowing down as travelers cancel trips or are getting stuck at terminals. Hotels, restaurants, and other businesses that rely on summer visitors are losing money fast. Small companies that depend on quick shipments or flights, they're also feeling the pinch.
Disruption that travelers might face here in the next few weeks. Air Canada's flight attendants have voted overwhelmingly in favor of strike action. The Canadian Union of Public Employees says its members voted 99.7% in favor of a strike if necessary. So what does that mean? It could allow them to issue a 72-hour strike notice as early as August 16th if the bargaining team decides to call for it. Now, the airline and the union have been in contract talks since the start of the year. The union represents over 10,000 flight attendants at Air Canada and Air Canada Rouge. Now, following the vote last night, Air Canada issued a statement reassuring its passengers. It reads in part, quote, "Such a vote is a normal step in the negotiation process and does not mean that any disruption will take place. Air Canada remains committed to the bargaining process and is eager to resume discussions which CUPE had suspended during the vote."
Provinces are speaking out, obviously blaming Ottawa and Carney for letting the situation get this bad. Premiers are frustrated that the federal government waited too long to act and failed to prevent the strike from spiraling out of control. For Canadians at large, the disruption is proof that Carney's promises of stability, they don't match reality. The economic impact is real. Hundreds of flights canceled, hundreds of thousands of passengers affected, and cargo delayed. The costs are adding up really quickly by the hour. The strike has turned from a labor dispute into a national problem, leaving citizens, businesses, and local governments struggling for solutions. Instead of showing control, the government looks weak and reactive. What was supposed to be a manageable solution has now become a crisis, raising serious questions about whether Ottawa under Carney can handle bigger challenges, even if something like airline operation gets out of hand. Can't they handle other things? The strike is making Canada look bad. Around the world, travelers from other countries are canceling trips, unsure if they can rely on Canada to get them there or get them back home or wherever they want to go. International media is covering the chaos, highlighting long lines, grounded planes, and stranded passengers.
What a
Very
shithole.
frustrating because our flight time changed. We're now not flying into the Toronto Island Airport, but we're flying into Pearson.
It's a travel nightmare for thousands on Saturday. Air Canada flights are canceled as 10,000 flight attendants walked off the job overnight after a string of silent demonstrations earlier this week and flights progressively canceled as of Thursday for Air Canada. The fears of a looming strike are now a reality for travelers as negotiations between CUPE and Air Canada management failed.
For many, Canada's reputation as a stable, reliable country is taking a hit. Airlines in other countries are watching very closely, and business partners abroad are questioning whether they can depend on Canada for timely travel and shipments. The strike is sending a message that even basic services can fall apart when leadership fails. Carney's government was supposed to be a steady hand capable of managing crisis and keeping the country running. Instead, airports remain clogged, passengers are stranded, frustrated, and freaking out, and his promises of control and stability feel empty, to say the least. Opposition parties are seizing the moment, criticizing the government for being slow and failing to do anything, and being unable to stop the disruption. Every delayed flight and every frustrated traveler adds to the perception that Ottawa is unable to be effective when it really matters. What was meant to be a quick resolution has become a national embarrassment and a test of trust in Ottawa's ability to handle crisis. And they've failed with that one. For Canadians, the strike is a reminder that when leadership fails, ordinary people pay the price. And from us here from Zone Media Network, feel free to head over and check out American Zone.
I'm going to sleep. I'm fucking tired, man.